Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm continuing my series on the North Node in the houses. So in this video I'm going to talk about what it means to have your natal North Node in the second house. So the North Node in our natal chart shows where our soul is going. It is a point of destiny or fate. It's an energy that may feel difficult or challenging for us, and a bit uncomfortable, because it's where the soul growth truly lies. And it's always directly opposite the South Node, which is a point of comfort in our natal chart. It's a really natural, dominant energy that we have. And it also can show gifts and talents, but when we stay solely there in that comfort zone, we become stagnant. So true soul growth in this lifetime, as shown by the birth chart, is really about integrating that South Node in a healthy way and using it to actually go towards the North Node path. So, the North Node in the second house is potentially one of the most intense placements to have the North Node as far as the houses, because it's a little bit like having a Scorpio South Node, although it's not that. You have to look at the signs as well and put them together. You have to look at the sign of your North Node, the sign of your South Node, to see what energy is really being brought through here. But this particular placement, more than any of the other houses, shows that the soul has brought forth from previous lifetimes a great intensity and a natural secretiveness, a natural kind of like detective energy, where with this placement with the South Node in the 8th house, you naturally are kind of like a researcher. You're always looking at the deeper meanings, the deeper sides of life, and you're that person that can find the hidden meaning in anything. And what you're actually meant to do in this lifetime is allow that search for the mystery, that deep emotional intensity and like probing mind to actually help you find your own set of values, your own self-worth, your own reason for being on this planet in a physical body. So it's actually about becoming more physical, becoming more embodied in your own life. With the South Node in the 8th, there is a tendency to be over concerned with other people, especially intimate, deep sexual bonds. We'll talk about the sexual aspect of this as well later. But what the soul is really needing to do in this lifetime is develop its own set of values. You know, what do I truly feel I want my life to be about? What does my unique soul actually want? And also, this is one of the placements of the North Node that shows there is a need for material security. I've seen many people with these nodes in this particular house placement to actually end up very materially wealthy, but usually it's later in life that they realize the actual importance of having that sense of security that does come from money in the bank. And it can take a while for these people to come to a like non-distorted view on money and like true security, right? Because security doesn't actually come from money, and on a deep level they instinctively know that with the South Node in the 8th house, but at the same time they are actually meant to come to this lifetime to work with finances. Or it's not so much about the money itself. It doesn't have to be a ton of money in the bank or anything, but it's about actually having like a solidness and like a foundation of their own, so that they don't feel like they're just in crisis all the time, and you know, they actually have something that they own themselves. Like it could be, their own ideas, or, their own house, or their own, like, strength in their physical body, or like their own belief system that they truly have a deep connection with. So it is like when we're dealing with the first, second, and like the houses over on this side, we are meant to actually develop the self in this lifetime more than like the social houses would be. So with this one, it is about developing, sometimes it is about developing material security as well. So the other thing with this placement is they can be jealous at times. They can be like, because they're always looking at everybody else, and sometimes they can feel that other people have an easier time than them. And so in this lifetime, there is a need to overcome jealousy. There can sometimes be a need to actually overcome a tendency for like trying to get, or trying to like steal from another. Like this is just like on an extreme level. This isn't going to be true for everybody, but it's like their incredible depth and intensity and ability to see beyond the surface, and it can kind of lead to like a manipulativeness in a sense where they look at everyone else and they see like, okay, all these other people have it so easy, well, I'm just gonna kind of slide in there and take what's mine. And then they end up learning with this position, this is one of the more karmic positions, they can end up seeing the karma of their actions in real time. And that's when they realize the importance of actually having a set of values, and like having personal integrity and acting in alignment with that. And when they truly do act from this place of integrity, they see in real time the benefits of their previous karma or lack thereof, right? So this is a very karmic position where the things you do, it creates a reaction, it creates a response in your life. And then with the South Node in the 8th house and their depth of mind, they actually end up seeing like, the results of previous karma. So it's a really good idea with this placement to like learn, what really makes you feel like a good person. And it's not going to be the same for everyone, right? This isn't like a moralistic interpretation or anything, but it's like, what are your non-negotiables as a person? What do you feel like is truly right for you? And then acting in integrity with that, and you're going to see the positive karma manifest with this one over time. So that's something really important. And with the South Node in the 8th house too, there is this awareness of like the cycles of life, and there is this need with this energy to die to many previous selves, like maybe more selfish selves, or maybe more jealous selves, or maybe a more suspicious or over concern with other people energy. There's a need to die to that and become the higher self, which is more grounded, more practical, more solid in this lifetime, more solid in this physical body, and not just going off on all of these suspicious tangents about the world and about other people, and actually just developing a sense of trust and faith and practical actions leading to the result. So with this one too, I think we could see past lifetimes with like a focus on something like astrology, or something like occult, or the deeper side of life in a more spiritual sense, maybe like magic, or something that society has shunned. There's like a focus or a natural energy to like be that person that is in those deeper places, those mysteries of life. And what this lifetime is actually about is not about getting stuck there in the mind. It's about actually using that deep wisdom and knowledge and talent for these deeper energies and making something practical with it. Bringing that spiritual knowledge, or that knowledge of these hidden mysteries of life, and actually using it for some like 3D thing in life. Um, the other thing with this placement, so the eighth house, can tend to deal with sexual matters, especially sex on a more intense, deep, intimate level, like Scorpio, eighth house, soul, transforming sex. So these people can have a powerful sex drive, a powerful sexual energy and attractiveness and allure, a charisma. And there can be the temptation to like use this for manipulation or gain, because coming from that like jealousy of other people and wanting to like have power um, over other people. So these people can sometimes have to go through like a transformation of their sexual energy, like a deeper understanding of their sexual energy, its power, and then the conscious choice to like really think about, okay, well, how do I want to use this energy? Like, what kind of sexual experiences do I truly want? Like, if I was coming from my heart and like my true sense of values and integrity, how would I use this energy, this power, right? And that can take some time. That can be one of their lessons, is around the use of the sexual energy in a way that is good for all parties. And like there is a need to come more into the body, so it's not about like giving up the sex, it's like giving up the sex as a use, like, or like for power gain or something like that. Yeah, so this is one of the placements that is very intense to have. You can notice, doesn't matter what sign it's in, although each sign is going to come out differently, but people with the south node in the eighth house and the north node in the second house have a very deep intensity. They can be very secretive. They can be that person that knows everybody else's secrets, but has never let on their own. And yeah, they can really actually end up being great psychologists, counselors, therapists, sex therapists. I don't know, I just thought of that. Something, where they're actually using their natural intensity and depth and like kind of detective energy to help others. That would be a really good choice for them, but they really need to figure it out for themselves and like figure out who they are. And it definitely shows big lessons in the lifetime. It's potentially one of the more difficult house placements, although it's always difficult. Like a lot of people will message me sometimes, like thinking they have a cursed placement or something, and it's like, well, no, they're all difficult really in their own ways. But when we have the south node in the eighth house, it's kind of like the soul is born very old and jaded and needs to develop more of that Venusian second house, like practicality, like grounding down into the physical body. So it can be a more difficult placement where you become less serious with age. You become more lighthearted with age. And yeah, your biggest soul growth is actually using that depth and intensity to really make life more practical for people and for yourself. So coming back down to earth. And really powerful people have this. You can feel when someone has this. They have like a Plutonian personality. It's a very scorpionic energy and placement. And then you can look at the sign for further info on how, like the south node sign, that's the energy that they've been too intense with, too suspicious with, and then the energy of the north node, where they're really meant to bring their focus and ground down into the physical body. And yeah, it's a deep one. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. If you have this placement, if you know someone with this placement, yeah, how have you experienced it? And you can let me know your comments. I'd love to read your comments, and I do offer one-on-one sessions. My links are below, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.